Hello everyone, welcome back to Prof Tutorials. Everyone, I've been waiting. Let me see the January 2025 Visa Bulletin. There has been predictions, forecast that, well, the dates are going to move forward, but what is it? Now the Visa Bulletin for January 2025 has been released. And here I'm going to walk us through again, just for educational purpose or informational purpose only. Now, so for those of you who have been approved for your EB2 NIW, congratulations. But the question is always, what next? How long am I going to wait? When can I adjust my status if I am in the US? That is, if I reside in the US. Or when do I start my visa processing if I am abroad, not in the US? And what's the deal with this Visa Bulletin everyone always talk about, or people always advise, keep your eye on the Visa Bulletin, which is always released on monthly basis, right? Now, is it just a waiting game? Well, for this particular video, we're going to decode the mystery behind this final action date, date for filing, and perhaps put you through what it really means. How do you understand or comprehend these two different dates? Understanding these dates is very key for you as a petitioner who has received approval, especially say for your employment-based visa application, EB2. Now, it helps you to also know when to prepare your documents, or perhaps when you can actually submit them, or even when do you potentially get your green card, which is permanent residence, right? So stick with me as this video will, again, as I've always done on this channel, just to put you through for informational purpose. And of course, I will also show you how you as a self-petitioner in particular can access all of this information from a credible source, which is from the official government source. And that's what I'm going to put us through in this video. So, well, two things I'm going to do is, if you are in the US, take note, that is about adjustment of status. And if you are abroad, that is, doing your consular processing, visa processing. But before then, let's do this together. I want you to open your browser. For those of you who perhaps doesn't know about this before, go to your browser. I could go to my Google page, and as you can see on the screen, just type in Visa Bulletin. And we're going to see what comes up. All right, we can see the first page here. This is .gov, so it's credible. You can click on that. And then we have something comes up. Now you can see the Visa Bulletin, the current Visa Bulletin, December 2024. That's this month of me releasing this video. Then we have the upcoming Visa Bulletin, which is January 2025. So as always, the upcoming Visa Bulletin is always released in the preceding months, which is always maybe on the 10, 11, or 12 thereabout of the preceding month. You will expect to see the upcoming Visa Bulletin. So even though this video is in December now, we've already seen the January 2025 Visa Bulletin. So click on this. If you click on January 2025, then we can see it, but that's it. The Visa Bulletin for January 2025 is on the screen. Now, this video is targeting those that are doing filing for employment-based category, because you're going to also see family-based category. So scroll down. If I scroll down this page, for those of you following me through, you will see some tables. These ones are for family-sponsored visa application. And then we can see here employment-based preference, employment-based preference. So this is what I want us to look at. Then the first thing you see here is the final action dates, which is something we're going to talk about. Then if you scroll down again, you're going to see date for filing. So again, let's look at this. This is for January 2025. And you can see the different employment-based category on column 1. We see, of course, we have the first, that is EB1. as some people call EB11, EB1A, 1B, or 1C. Then we have the EB2 category, wherein the NIW also falls under EB2 NIW. And we have the EB3, the other ones, the EB4 and the EB5. Now, what we want to see here is take note all chargeability areas except the other ones listed and other column China, India, Mexico, and Philippines. If your country is not among these other ones, then you fall under all chargeability area. For example, maybe Pakistan, India, Nigeria, UK, South Africa, Canada, and the likes. If you are filing under EB1, good news, it is still current for January 2025. What that means is that if you file for EB1, I-140, and you get approval, you can proceed to filing your adjustment of status if you are in the US, I-485. And when you do the process and you are approved for that, you get your green card. Or some people, if you are filing for I-140 the very first time, some people do it concurrently and you file your form I-485 adjustment of status concurrently because EB1 is current. So there is no delay. Visa number is readily available if you are in this category. However, the bone of contention has been for EB2 or the EB2 NIW self-petitioners. Well, the final action date is still 1st of April 2023, which I will explain to us. And I will also scroll down again, still on the same page, you will see date for filing. And let's see the date for filing. It is also still current, C, for EB1. And for EB2 categories, it is 1st of August 2023. This is still the same as the previous month, December 2024 Visa Bulletin. Unfortunately, it remains the same. It has not moved forward. Well, we have to keep calm. You have to keep calm. Those of you who are expecting this to get to you, just keep calm, knowing fully well that it's going to get to your turn someday. Having said that, let me quickly explain something to my esteemed viewers. This issue about, date for filing, final action dates. If you are in the US, like I said earlier, that is adjustment of status. Now, for the date for filing, if your priority date, remember, for those of you who have received approval, check the Form I-797C sent to you. You will see your priority date there. If your priority date is earlier than the date for filing, which is on that chart for EB2, EB2, for example, you can prepare your documents and you may submit your application to adjust status. Now, take note, however, USCIS typically requires you to use the final action dates. Let's confirm that again. If you scroll up the same page we are looking at, try to read some of the first paragraphs here, and it will tell you, if you look at this highlighted part, it says USCIS must, individuals seeking to file applications for adjustment of status with USCIS must use the final action date chart. So take note of that. You must use the final action date chart. You have to follow that. However, I want to tell you that always pay attention to every given latest news. I mean, what is said or what is released on monthly basis. What does it say? Which one did they say you should use? Should you use the final action date or the date for filing? I will give us an example. You can find that when you just go to the USCIS page. As you see on the screen right now, go to USCIS page. Under this, you see adjustment of status, filing chart from the Visa Bulletin. Look at this area I'm highlighting. On this page, you will see it says, for employment-based preference filings, for all employment-based preference categories, you must use the date for filing chart in the Department of State Visa Bulletin for December 2024. So for every given Visa Bulletin release per month, it will be stated, I advise you to come here to confirm if you are to use the final action date or the date for filing. So that's very important to take notes. Now, if you are abroad, again, that's consular processing. Again, if your priority date is earlier than, say, the date for filing chart, according to the December statement, that means you can start preparing your documents, but you will or you may not receive a notification from the National Visa Center, NVC, to submit them yet. NVC usually use the date for filing charts to tell applicants when they can perhaps begin gathering their required documents. But this does not necessarily mean your visa is available yet. Now, for the final action date, you will receive an official notification from NVC to submit your document only and only if your priority date is current based on the final action date chart. So the final action date is typically when your visa is actually available, and that is when NVC will process your case. And importantly, my advice is always check the USCIS website for monthly updates on whether you should use the final action date or the date for filing charts. And of course, in doing that, fall back to your priority date and use it to make the comparison. Well, even though the January Visa Bulletin has been released, as I've shown us on this page, as we can see the two tables, it's been released. Yes, the date remains the same as that of December. When you go to USCIS page, you will see that it has not been updated as to which one should you use for the January 2025. So, esteemed viewers, always come to this page. This is a credible source to reconfirm once this page has been updated to confirm which one am I supposed to use. Is it going to be the date for filing or the final action date? It does make a difference. Yeah, and that is it. It is our hope that February, March, as we continue through 2025, we hope that this date move forward so that other people who are still waiting, who have received approval, can perhaps benefit from, preparing their documents or adjusting their status. It's so sweet to have a green card. It is sweeter to become a US citizen. So I'm wishing you all the very best. While you are waiting, my advice, the last video I made that I released was about doing your adjustment of status, your medicals. My advice to you, and again, you could go watch that video, is that you can start your medical processing now. For those of you who think, well, after all, my priority dates will probably become current maybe in the next 4, 5, or 6 months. Why not just go ahead and do your medicals and make sure that it's ready? And you can, just include that once you see the visa bulletin that now you can proceed and there won't be any delay by then. So go do your medicals. Get to watch the last video. I'm going to drop the link also in the description that explains how you can go about your medicals. Again, yours, Prof. Dan, all for informational purpose, educating you all. And please feel free to consult the official page of USCIS so you are guided as to how to go about things proper. This, among many others, is for self-petitioners to help or assist you in this journey. Take care and see you again in another video. Bye.